Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Husky Stadium on the campus of Northern Illinois University, where today the IHSA State Football Finals are taking place. Class 1A through 4A will kick off today. We are starting with Class 1A at our 10 a.m. kickoff. That'll be between Stark County and Arcola, two teams that are perfect so far on this journey to the Cal. Of course, in Class 2A, our 1 o'clock kickoff will be Downs Tri-Valley taking on the Auburn Trojans. And then our Class 3A matchup taking place at 4 o'clock features Toulon Unity taking on Kankakee Bishop McNamara. And then finally at 7 o'clock in the Class 4A matchup, it is Belleville Althoff taking on Crete Moni. So it should be some exciting football action taking place down here on the field. If you plan on coming to the games, you might want to think about an extra layer of clothing. It is chilly out today. With that said, I'll send it up to the booth to the guys that'll call the action today, Lee Hall and Jack McInerney.
All right, Donnie Tillman, thank you very much. Yeah, it's a bit of a blustery day here in DeKalb. Jack McInerney, rain last night. The rain is held off here. It's a little cold, a little windy, the wind coming out of the north, but not a bad day for football.
This is great football weather. This is what it's all about. This is Thanksgiving weekend, state championship, perfect football weather.
That's right. Well, enjoy your turkey coma from yesterday. We've got a football coma coming your way this weekend. 4 games today, 4 games tomorrow. It all kicks off with two 13-0 teams coming in here. And this is Stark County's road to state with the win over Polo in the quarterfinals and that 10-7 win on Sunday over Ottawa Marquette to get here to the finals. And there you see Arcola's road as they beat GCMS in the semifinals and shut out Leroy in the semifinals, rather. Take a look at our key players for today's game. For Arcola, it's their running back, their leading rusher, senior Wyatt Fischel.
Well, he's a good one. There's no doubt about it. Both sides of the football, a very tough, hard-nosed football player.
There you get a look at his numbers on the year, 33 touchdowns for the Purple Riders. For Stark County, their main man is Chase Johnston. That's what the Purple Riders' rule of thumb is today. Chase Johnston. He's run for over 2,200 yards.
Well, they'll be chasing him all day long, and then when they're not, they're going to be looking at him because he's an outstanding outside linebacker for them. So, again, two outstanding two-way football players.
And we see a lot of that in Class 1A. One of these teams will finish with a perfect record in a state championship back at Husky Stadium after this on Comcast Sportsnet. Welcome back to Husky Stadium on the campus of Northern Illinois University. Lee Hall, Jack McInerney, Donnie Tillman with us down on the field. Our great IHSA TV crew here enjoying their Thanksgiving weekend, bringing you high school football. There's a look at the folks from Arcola. They've driven up here from southeastern Illinois, down by Charleston and Mattoon. There you get a look at the Purple Riders school facts out of Douglas County, enrollment of 211. They are purple and white. Zach Zier, their athletic director and head coach. The Arcola Purple Raiders perfect at 13-0 coming into this ball game. Great football tradition at Arcola. From up Toulon way, Stark County Rebels, obviously in Stark County, 275 the enrollment there. The school is an amalgamation of several towns, Toulon, Lafayette, Wyoming. Some kids from Bradford go to Stark County. Scott Paxson is the athletic director and an assistant coach. And that's where they come from. They are both here today and ready to play for a state championship. We'll have it for you coming up next on Comcast Sportsnet. And we are set to kick off here in Class 1A in DeKalb. Wind blowing from your left to your right. So this kick will be with the wind for Arcola's Mario Cortez as the ball blows off the tee. And back to receive for Stark County will be Logan Knobloch and Wyatt Shoop. Both teams 13-0. Great football traditions. Arcola state champs in 78, 85, and 88. and along with second place trophies in 91 and 95. Stark County just been around since 92. They were second in 97 and second in 08, and that kick rolls into the end zone, so it'll be 1st and 10 Stark County from their own 20-yard line.
Well, I think what's also interesting is that Stark County knocked off defending state champ Forreston last in their 11th game this year, so we're going to have a new state champion in 1A.
There's a look at John Groder, the junior quarterback, leading the way for Stark County, throwing for over 1,700 yards, rushing for 378. He averages 130 yards passing a game. He's in the shotgun. Number 23, Chase Johnston, is the player we highlighted in the open, and he gets the first carry and gets about a yard or two before the Arcola defense is there to stop him. This Arcola defense only allowed 18 points total in the regular season. 18 points total.
That is an amazing statistic, and one of the things that's also interesting about that is how many players go both ways to accomplish that kind of statistic.
Second down, not much there that time for Johnston either. 2,202 yards, 29 touchdowns. He averages 7.3 yards per carry, the senior running back for the Rebels. There's a look at our offensive starters. Groder, the junior quarterback. Johnston is their main guy offensively. Logan Knobloch, their top receiver. Groder and Knobloch are a great tandem there, passing to each other. 3rd and 6 here now. And the ball's tipped. And it's picked off by Arcola. I think there's a flag on the play, though. I think they're going to be pass interference on Arcola.
It actually hit the receiver in the helmet. He wasn't prepared to turn and look. It hit him in the helmet.
It looked like the Stark County receiver got bumped as he made his cut.
But I don't know that the ball was in the air yet when that happened.
There are officials from the Vandalia area.
Interesting call early here, Lee.
With their first state championship. We talked to them today at breakfast. They said they've got on every bit of warm weather clothing they've got.
Pass interference, number 7.
Interesting call. What a break that is early.
Take another look down here at the bottom of your screen.
Right there, yeah. But it also hit him in a interesting call. I mean, it went both ways there, but good call by the officials.
Kanan Gerber was the intended receiver, and he clearly got bumped. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Stark County on that pass interference call as they go into the wind here in the first quarter.
They run out of spread about 95% of the time.
Here's the give to Johnston, and the Purple Riders defense right there to stop him. Here's a look at that defense we've been talking about. Brandon Lebetter, Cole Hutton, Ray Garza, Dalton Pantier up front, Chase Strader, Wyatt Fischel, Giovanni Salinas, and Colin Seaman, the linebackers, and then defensive back Seth Still, Connor, and Clayton Strader at D-back. 2nd and 9. Groder the pitch, Johnston taken down right there by number 36, Giovanni Salinas. Great read that time by the defense.
That was an outstanding play, because when teams don't run the option that often, but do have it in their repertoire, and you still have the discipline to make that, you can see him come right up there. Linebacker coming from the inside out. That's his read. That's his responsibility. Nice play and tackle right there.
Loss of 5, 3rd and 14. Groder has a man, and it looks like 1st down yardage to Kanan Gerber. Pick up a 14 on 3rd down, and that'll be another Rebels 1st down.
What excellent execution right there. He does a reverse rollout. He steps in one direction to get the linebackers going. You can see how he spins out, but they don't buy it. But what an excellent route right there to know exactly what you need for the 1st down. He made that by a half a yard. Big play right there to keep the drive going.
Kanan Gerber, 6'6", 200-pound sophomore. He has not been a big offensive weapon, but John Groder, here's Johnston up the middle. And brought down from behind, Connor Strader saving a touchdown run as Johnston gets loose on 1st down takes it down inside the 25-yard line to the 23, a pickup of 28 on that gain for Chase Johnston.
Good job right there by the offensive line creating that hole. You can see it's just a trap up the middle inside. He comes off the wing off of Samosin. And Musselman, Johnston, and Pearson up front, center, and both guards did a great job of blocking at the point of attack.
128 yards in the semifinal win for Johnston against Ottawa Marquette. He's got it again, up the gut and down to about the 20.
You can see that he's a workhorse here for that offense. He averages about 23 carries a ball game for 169 yards and averages 7 yards a carry, so that's outstanding offensive firepower right there. And the thing that goes along with that is he plays linebacker also, so you've got to be a great conditioned athlete, which he is.
You look at Jade Nord in his 11th year as head coach at Stark County. 2nd and 7. Johnston again down to about the 16-yard line. And you look at Johnston's carries, Jack, and you break it down by postseason, regular season. He only averaged about 19 carries in the regular season because they didn't really need him that much in blowout wins. But here in the postseason, he's really been carrying the mail. 32 carries per game in the 4 games as Stark County has gotten here to the state finals. 3rd down and about 3.
Oh, there's 5 easy yards.
Another penalty on Arcola. So some good running, some good passing by Stark County, and some mistakes by Arcola in this drive as the Rebels march down the field here on the opening drive of this 1A state championship game.
Well, their production during the offensive production during the playoffs dropped off a wee bit because during the regular season they averaged about 39 points. Then during their playoff run they kind of dropped down to 29 points a game as far as average. So a little less productive, but also you're playing a little more different type of competition.
1st and 10 from the 11. Give to Johnston. He's down inside the 5. Touchdown, Chase Johnston. Gets Stark County on the board first.
Well, that was the Chase County. Actually, what he did right there was the same basic play that he ran on those first 2 long runs, but he bounced it outside after the initial line into the scrimmage. You can see right here, he bounces it outside because they closed down on that trap. Good job right there of just reading the hole and bouncing it out and picking up the score.
His 30th touchdown of the year. Carl Wallander on for the extra point. He kicked a 46-yard field goal in Sunday's semifinal win that proved to be the winner for Stark County. The extra point is good. 9 plays, 80 yards for the Rebels. They take a 7-0 lead to the break on the 11-yard touchdown run by senior Chase Johnston. 7-0 Stark County. Back after this on Comcast Sports Day. Stark County senior Chase Johnston finishes off a 9-play, 80-yard drive for the Rebels. They take a 7-0 lead here in the first quarter against Arcola.
And that's the only break he's going to get today is on special teams and kickoff. He comes out, he'll be going right in after the kickoff. A 2-way player, all-stater.
There's Jade Nord on your left, the head coach for Stark County in his 11th year, 101 wins, 28 losses. He was head coach when they finished 2nd in 2008 to Concord Triopia. He's also the basketball coach, so he's not going to get any time off.
I mean, he's probably already had practice after football. He goes into the gym at night.
Back to work on Monday as Arcola picks up the kickoff inside their own 20. That's Seth Still, and brought down at the 21-yard line by the Stark County special teams.
Well, one of the reasons both of these teams are here and having such a great year is they both had great years last year. Stark County was 11-1 and actually got upset in the playoffs, and Arcola was 10-1. So all these kids are back for the most part.
Arcola gets their first touch of the ball here. Clayton Strader, the senior quarterback. He'll keep it himself. Finds yardage out to the 25 and beyond. 1,270 yards rushing from Clayton Strader. He's a 5'8", 150-pound senior. Averages about 98 yards a game on the ground for the Purple Riders.
What that does is gives you a completely different dimension in that backfield. It's like having another running back and a guy that can also throw the ball occasionally.
2nd and 5. And the give is to Wyatt Fischel, and he busts it open up the middle. 325 yards, 5 touchdowns, both season highs in the win over Leroy for senior Wyatt Fischel. As you get a look at the Purple Riders starters, Strader, Salinas, Fischel, Mendoza, and still the wide receivers. Colin Seaman, the tight end, is their leading receiver, and the big guys up front, Garza, Spencer, Leal, Pantier, and Hutton. 1st and 10 from the 32. He gives to Fischel. He follows one of his big uglies up front and gets out to almost the 40-yard line. He followed number 53, Ray Garza, 6'1", 260 senior. Good job getting behind the big fella and getting positive yards. Here's the Stark County defensive starters. Musselman, Macaulay Johnston is an all-stater. Meeker, Wisniewski, another linebacker, Pearson. Enley, another big guy for them on defense. Chase Johnston, who Jack mentioned. Tuthill, King, Knobloch, and Beam. 2nd and 3. Strader keeps it himself. He's across the 40, still be short of the 1st down. He'll bring up 3rd down for the Purple Riders, not to be confused with the Bloomington Purple Raiders.
I would never do that.
Well, I'm sure I will do that sometime today, so I apologize in advance.
Well, you're going to see an awful lot of running here because Arcola averages about 318 yards of rushing yardage per game. They only throw for about 78, but that's 396 yards of offense, and they've been averaging 52 points a game in the regular season. In the playoff run, they've been averaging 40, so they're a very potent, explosive offense.
Here's Fischel up the middle, and he's got 1st down yardage across the 42, where he's met by Keith Enley. Well, you look at Arcola's offensive numbers, that's about 4-to-1 rush and pass, 4,100 yards rushing, 1,000 yards passing.
And what happens is when you run the ball that often and that effectively, it really puts a lot of pressure on the defense because the play action open up, and that's where they develop those long pass plays because the secondary starts creeping up to help on run support.
Give us to the man in motion. That's Seth Still. He tries to get outside and is dragged down across midfield into Stark County territory. So after an 80-yard drive by the Rebels, the Purple Riders are on the move now.
Well, you can see what they do. They're just running that jet sweep basically, and they're out running the defensive front. They're doing a lot of different formations, which makes it more difficult for the defense to settle in, and then they run a lot of different plays from those various formations.
2nd and 3 for Arcola. Strader keeps it himself, not much there. Enley in on the stop. Zayd Musselman there as well for Stark County. You talk about they were good last year. Well, Arcola brings back 13 lettermen from that 10-1 team. That's 19 starting positions when you got guys going both ways.
And the other part of that to me that's very interesting is they have 7 starters that have been starters for 3 years. So you talk about experience. You're looking at it down there right now.
Zach Zier, their 3rd-year head coach, has got things going. Fischel with room to run. And finally dragged down at the 35-yard line. Pick up a 14 for Wyatt Fischel.
With this offense, it's very difficult to key on one particular guy. You can't key on the quarterback because Fischel's so very effective. And there he gets in behind Ray Garza, leading him up the field, number 53. Does a good job of keeping the legs going right there.
Logan Knobloch finally dragged him down. 1st and 10 Purple Riders. Here's Fischel. Not much doing there. Keith Enley, the leading tackler for Stark County, in on the stop, number 65. He's a 6'2", 200-pound senior.
Basically the same play they ran prior to that, only they came back to the right side off of that one.
Time winding down here in the 1st quarter. A little over 4 minutes to play. It's 7-0 Stark County.
And both teams doing a nice job of running the ball on each other down the field.
Here's the pitch to Still. He's out of bounds just inside the 30-yard line.
Good job by the defensive backs fighting off the wide receivers' blocks and coming up. You can see him right here at the point of attack, fighting them off and coming up, doing a nice job right there. That's a difficult play for defensive backs when you got all those linemen pulling and those receivers coming in your face and come up and make a tackle. Well done defense.
3rd and 4 for the Purple Riders. And it's a quarterback heap. And Strader is down inside the 20. Good hard running by the Purple Riders on this opening drive.
By using all of that motion, it makes it very difficult for the linebackers to key. Now, usually they key on the guards, but you can see right here they pull linemen, which throws off keys sometimes. You have linemen pull, which is a fake key, but in most cases, you tell the linebackers, key those guards, they'll take you to the play. But the problem is when you get there, there's people blocking it.
1st down and 10. Fischel met right at the line and brought down by Macaulay Johnston, the Stark County All-Stater.
It seems as though Arcola's biggest plays are the ones where they show misdirection rather than the plays that are straight power, which that one was, going right at them, where they're able to not be confused by any kind of motion or counter looks.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 now for Arcola. Strader keeps it himself, tries to get outside, fumbles. Loose ball, but it goes out of bounds. It'll stay with the Purple Riders. A break there as the senior quarterback lost control of the football.
Excellent job right there of Trace Tuthill coming upfield. You'll see him coming at the bottom of your screen, make an open field tackle right there. He fights off the defender and comes up and makes the tackle. Excellent defensive play. And that's a tough play right there for the corner when you got a receiver in your face and you come up and make the play. Outstanding play.
Trace Tuthill came up with a big interception at the end of the semifinal to ice that win against Ottawa. Marquette puts his helmet on the football there, but it stays with Arcola. 3rd down. Strader rolling left, has a man. It's complete to Daniel Mendoza. He's out of bounds, and it looked to be just short of the 1st down.
An excellent route right there by Mendoza. And what happens is Strader puts pressure on you when he rolls out, because that's the play they run off of the option. Now he ends up throwing the football. Good route, a good throw on the run. Big play right here.
Only the 9th catch of the year for junior Daniel Mendoza. 4th and 2 for Arcola. Trying to get into the end zone and tie this game. Fischel met for no gain, and it's Enley in there on the stop. Chase Johnston in there as well. The Stark County defense on 4th and 2 stops the Purple Riders' ride right there.
Interesting play. You can see right there the penetration at the top of your screen, and just an outstanding play by Chase Johnston.
Stark County maintains their lead. Welcome back to DeKalb Husky Stadium. Lee Hall, Jack McInerney, Donnie Tillman. The Stark County defense stops Arcola on 4th and 2. They start with the ball at their own 14-yard line, leading 7-0. And not much doing that time for Chase Johnston. The Illinois Football Coaches Association All-Stater stopped for no gain there. Cole Hutton in on the stop for Arcola.
Stark County likes to spread you out by formation, and what that does, it puts a lot of pressure on the inside linebackers, and consequently that helps their run game. You can see them spreading them out by formation right here. Big splits by the offensive line.
2nd and 11. Groder keeps it himself. Nowhere to go there. Giovanni Salinas in on the stop for Arcola. Hutton was there again.
Now you can spread them out by formation, but then it comes down to your offensive line. Can they handle the defensive line of Arcola and those linebackers? On that particular play, no, they could not.
3rd and 13 now, deep in their own territory.
They don't like to throw the ball, and they certainly don't want to put a lot of pressure here, thrown into the wind.
Broder will throw. And it's picked off. And he's going to take it to the house. Trayton Jones with the interception. Check that. That's Chase Strader with the interception. 6'2 senior Chase Strader, cousin of the quarterback Clayton Strader. And we are an extra point away from being tied here in our 1A state title game.
Well, as I mentioned, you really don't want to throw the ball here. And again, what happened right there is the linebacker sniffed that out. He dropped right underneath in that route and took away the underneath. It's just going to be a slant route. Great job of reading the route and the quarterback. Kind of an ill-advised throw in that situation. I might have ran it and then tried to punt, put them in a hole in my defense play.
Well, we saw the punts in pregame. They're not going to go very far, going right to left here into that wind. On for the extra point is Mario Cortez, 18 of 20 on the year, and that one's blocked. Struggled earlier in the year with extra points. That one is no good, so Stark County hangs on to a lead by 1. Take another look, Jack.
This is a situation where just excellent linebacker play, but the read, he's going to him the entire time, and really the linebacker had nowhere to go because he knew they needed long yardage, so he was playing a little softer, looking for that under coverage, and he did a super job right there. Excellent coaching and great execution by the defense.
So the chase is on. The Stark County touchdown scored by Chase Johnston. The Arcola touchdown scored by Chase Strader. And it's a 7-6 game. There's a look at some of our crew working out there on a cold day after Thanksgiving. Happy Black Friday.
All my shopping. I got my shopping list. I got the present for you also.
I'm sure you do. Can't wait.
Well, this to me is, we talked about this early, about football. This kind of weather, this kind of situation. This to me is the way football used to be when you got players, probably 7 to 8 players on both teams going both ways. The most difficult part of this for these kind of schools is, the smaller schools, practice organization. Being able to practice offensively and then defensively. On the bigger schools, they platoon. It's a lot easier. These people, when I say these people, I mean the smaller class schools, they do a great job of organization for practices.
Nice return that time by Logan Knobloch on the kick by Cortez. Return of 23. 50 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Stark County will go into the win for the final minute here and then turn things around.
Well, we talked about certain defenses could make the difference, and certainly with this win, field position and the special teams are going to be a factor.
Not much there for Chase Johnston. Let's go downstairs to Donnie Tillman. Donnie.
Hey, some interesting news on that extra point there by Arcola. The ball actually deflated when he went to kick it. It is actually completely deflated at this point, so that's why it was a little low when he went to kick it. Back up to you guys.
I heard about
Is Tom Brady here?
I was just going to say, I thought I saw him downstairs handing the ball to the ball boys.
He's the natural, just like Robert Redford knocked the cover off the ball. That guy, Cortez, kicked the cover off of it, kicked the air out of it. As Groder falls down as he tries on the keep. He hasn't had much luck with the keeper.
I wouldn't be rushing around here.
Have you heard of that? Anybody kicking the air out of the ball like that?
No, they mustn't have tied those strings too tight. This is an excellent call here by the coach as far as timeout, because he wants to make sure they punt into the wind. And on the other hand, the coach is trying to string this out and run that play so he won't have to kick into the wind.
Surprising if you were going to do that, you didn't call timeout on the last play, because you can run one play here.
Well, a lot of times in games like this, you don't want to. These are ideal situations as far as thinking about that, but you don't want to use those timeouts too early, so it's kind of a catch-22. If you had a lot more, we could say perfect opportunity to do it here. But you still have a lot of time in the second quarter you might need to use them.
I saw that in a college game last Saturday when the conditions were none too favorable. Illinois State used their timeouts in the first quarter to make sure South Dakota had to punt into the wind. And speaking of not favorable conditions, Stark County did not play last Saturday. They had to play Sunday. Their field, there was so much snow, the field was unplayable. Coaches from both Stark County, Ottawa Marquette walked the field. They couldn't hardly stand up on it. So they postponed the game, played it Sunday in Dunlap on an artificial surface. So a day less of preparation for both schools, really, and a day earlier on playing a game for Stark County. Groder with pressure, and now a flag on the play. That'll probably be holding against Stark County with 1 second to go in the quarter, and they will have to kick into the wind pending the outcome of this penalty.
Another somewhat ill-advised throw. Even though he had a lot of pressure on him, you can't throw it up for grabs in this situation, certainly into the wind and falling backwards as you're getting hit. Linebackers are sitting underneath there stalking that ball.
Block below the waist. Decline. 4th down.
So they'll go ahead and take 4th down and make the Rebels punt with the wind in their face.
Well, you see he does the reverse rollout to hope to get the direction of the linebackers changed, but it doesn't happen. And there's the pressure right there. That's an he's better off taking a sack than he is putting the ball up for grabs right there.
Dalton Pantier came in there unblocked, big number 61. Nobody touched him. He had free run there. Logan Knobloch, the punt, he averages 31 yards a punt, but he's going into a pretty good breeze.
Interesting punt formation here.
He'll drop back.
Probably. You just have to find out where those are.
And it's Wyatt Fischel back to potentially return. But this is what happens into the wind. You get that ball short, and it could potentially bounce off a receiving team going back there to block for their return man.
Well, that's not all that bad right now for the situation they were in, certainly in that first drive.
We played 1 quarter. Stark County with a 1-point lead on Arcola. Country Financial will help you build a plan with insurance and financial solutions to help you get where you want to go. Call your local rep at 1-866-COUNTRY or visit financial.com. Second quarter action from Husky Stadium in DeKalb. And it's Wyatt Fischel with the carry for Arcola. Not much difference here in the rushing stats in the first quarter, Jack. 57 yards for Arcola, 44 yards for Stark County. Of course, Arcola scoring on that 1 turnover there in the first quarter.
Well, they both moved the ball as far as a running game from between the 30s, but then when it got down in the end zone, there was, of course, that turnover on an ill-advised slant route, which the linebacker jumped underneath. And field position here could be the big difference.
Arcola now going into the wind this quarter. Strader rolls right, nowhere to go. Macaulay Johnson had 1 crack at him, missed him, but then it's the big guy Jacob Ray bringing him down.
Well, in some cases, you're better off just getting whatever you can get in the direction you're going, which is you start doing this right here, you're going to have nothing but trouble.
Check that. That was Eric Meeker, number 72, 6'3", sophomore, dragging down Strader for the loss.
Good job of contain right here. Good discipline by the defense.
3rd and 8 for Arcola. Outscoring their opponents 679 to 61 this season. Here's Fischel. He moves the pile very close to first down yardage as he crosses midfield. 11 touchdowns, 703 yards in the postseason for senior Wyatt Fischel. He's going to be just a little short and bring up 4th down. Or they want to measure, perhaps. No, they've got a equipment issue for Stark County. It's going to be 4th and 1, Jack.
Well, and what's always good is when your quarterback is also your punter. You can do a lot of different things from there. You can, especially when you run out of the spread formation, he can be in a short punt look, which they could run their normal play, and or he could just kick out of that. And they have nobody back, so All he's got to do is drop back another 3 yards on that snap, and he could punt from that position.
Strader will keep. Met at the line. This will be very close. Very close. James King, number 14, in on the stop. And it is a first down as Clayton Strader muscles his way to first down yardage, averaging 98 yards a game on the ground.
Well, that's a big confidence builder for the offensive line when the coach goes for it in a state championship game from midfield. So Garza, Spencer, Leo, Painter, and Hutton, he has a lot of confidence in that front five.
Strader standing at midfield, gives to Fischel. Not a lot there that time. Stark County defense, they really are a second half team. They've got 3 shutouts in 4 playoff games in the second half. There is a flag on this one.
Well, first down in these kind of games is very critical to pick up at least 4 yards on first down, because that changes and allows you to
Illegal formations. 6 men on the line of scrimmage. Still first down.
David Givens, Larry Reeby, Jerry Shukar, Michael Critchlow, and Paul Yago, all making their first appearance as officials in a state championship game from the Vandalia area. Our congratulations to them.
That penalty really hurt, and that's a penalty where you don't even end up basically being able to run a play, which they did. They gained 4 yards, which would have been great, but they had an execution problem with the offensive lineman.
First and 15 now for Arcola.
It's not the strength of their offense to be in this situation.
Strader keeps. He's got some room to run down across the 50, inside the 40, down to the 32-yard line before he's finally brought down. Great carry that time by the quarterback, Clayton Strader.
Well, that's just a counter right there. You saw the guard and tackle. You saw Hutton and Painter pull. It's a trap with the tackle leading. There's the kick-out block. Nice job right there by Strader turning it up inside. It's always nice when you have a quarterback that runs for over 1,000 yards. And that was a perfect example right there.
19 yards on that pickup. First down at the 31. Fischel will try the right side. He's around the corner, and now he's outside. Finally brought down inside the 15-yard line by Chase Johnston.
Well, that was actually a sweep, and he actually outran his 2 pulling linemen that were going to block out in front of him. And in many cases, you can see the lineman right there. He outruns him to the edge. And a good job right there. The key to that play was number 15, Seth Still, on that block on the corner, sustaining that block all the way down the field. Those are the little things that you normally don't see that make a play go, Lee.
Pickup of 18 follows the 19-yard gain by Strader. Strader's going to keep it himself, and he's going to take it in for the score. Clayton Strader with his 21st rushing touchdown of the year.
That's a great example right there of having 2 threats in the backfield where you have to honor one with that fake to Wyatt Fischel. That pulled the linebackers over to jump on him. Watch the fake right there, pulled him over, and then he cut in behind number 53, Ray Garza, who was pulling, and that's the threat when you have 2 outstanding running backs in the backfield. That was a good job by Ray Garza, but an even better job by Clayton Strader of running the ball up the field. A lot of times quarterbacks want to run on the edges. They don't want to run between the tackles. And in that case, Clayton Strader said, yes, I am, and I'm picking up 6.
He's a state champion in track, and he showed some pretty good wheels there. Here's Fischel for 2, and it's good. And the Purple Riders take a 14-7 lead as they march down the field here to open the second quarter. There's another look at Clayton Strader, the senior quarterback. He gives Arcola the 14-7 lead here on Comcast Sportsnet. The Bulls finish up the circus trip in Indiana against Paul George and the Pacers. Coverage begins at 6:30 on Comcast Sportsnet. Lee Hall, Jack McInerney, Donnie Tillman here in DeKalb. And it's a 14-7 lead for Arcola after a 7-play, 57-yard drive by the Purple Riders. Bunch up, met at the 20-yard line. And that's where it'll be first down for Stark County. The Rebels in their 20th straight playoff. As you get a look at the Purple Rider sideline, they are coached by Zach Zier in his third year, 26-7, a DMAC alum. Deer Creek Mackinac, played for Jim McDonald back in the day. He's got this storied Arcola program playing for another state championship. Groder looks to throw to Knobloch, and he was well covered. Seth Still on the coverage for Arcola.
Knobloch, of course, is one of their leading receivers with 44 catches for 1,171 yards. That's about 90 yards a game. Now, for a team that normally runs the ball about 95% of the time, that's pretty good stats. And of course, he's a big receiver at 6'2". So if you're going to go to somebody early, that's who you want to go to.
2nd and 10. Groder's only completed one pass so far in this game. Give the chase Johnston. He gains a couple.
Well, both teams have done a nice job of running the football, which is a tribute to the offensive lines, because both teams coming into this game had very good defenses.
About a 2-to-1 run to pass ratio for Stark County. 3,400 yards rushing, 1,700 passing. Sideline warning on Arcola.
The get back coach hasn't done a very good job.
There's not that many of them over there.
You can see that thick white line. That's for the official to be able to run down up and down the sideline without banging into the player that's up there.
Groder keeps it himself, and not much there. He's not really a running quarterback, and now he's slow to get up.
That's not a good sign, and it looks like a knee that already has a brace on it.
Stark County folks will take a look at their quarterback, John Groder. We will be right back on Comcast Sports Net. We're back at Husky Stadium, and that's never a good sight. They are still taking a look at John Groder, and that, in addition to his health, that's going to be a big blow to Stark County's offense right there.
And you can see right there that the leg that he injured looks like it has been hurt before, because it has a knee brace on it already.
Take another look. You mentioned when Clayton Strader ran for a touchdown, quarterbacks don't like to run up the middle. Here's why. He just got really bent backward, awkwardly there. Pretty awkward, and we apologize for technical difficulties that we're experiencing here. But, John Groder out for now, and down at the 47-yard line, and that's where Arcola will start. First down and 10 with a 14-7 lead, and we'll hope to give you an update on the condition of John Groder, the Stark County quarterback. But Cade Tuthill is down there warming up. To be honest with you, I'm not sure who their backup quarterback would be at this point.
Well, sometimes it depends. They might have a couple of different kids, and it depends on what they might want to do offensively.
How much will their game plan change here? Well, that will remain to be seen.
I was kind of surprised that they didn't take more of an advantage of the win with that punt. They didn't get much out of that. Well, both teams actually, as we mentioned, were running the football pretty well inside. But once they go to throw the football, which they're not, don't really have a strength of doing, that's kind of when they have some issues. And when you have a good solid running game, which they both do, the advantage goes really to the quarterback that can throw the ball the best in a game like this. And right now, obviously, there's going to be an issue.
Trace Tuthill, the defensive back, is warming up on the Stark County sideline. We've got a timeout here on the field. I've
been really impressed with both of these teams. You know, really, Stark County was only tested twice in their 13 games. They were tested in about the 4th game in a 21-14 win over Kewanee, and then in the semifinal against Ottawa, who was a number 2 seed, they beat them 10-7. So that was a test for them. So they had basically 2 tests where Arcola only had 1, and that was against Gibson City, a number 2 seed.
Yeah, this is the 3rd straight undefeated team faced by Stark County. Strader rolling out, nowhere to go, and they just step out of bounds with it.
Good job right there by the secondary of Stark County, forcing him to pull it down and try and make something happen. That's one of the biggest problems for a defensive secondary is when you have a quarterback that runs with the football. There he tucked it and then brought it up at the last second. But you can see the receiver was running right down the sideline, so it was a good job of pursuit right there by the defense. But whenever you have a running quarterback, it's always a threat and more difficult for the secondary people to keep track of the receivers.
2nd down and 7. Arcola scored going into the win. They'll try to do it again here as Wyatt Fischel carries the football. Zach Zier calls him the heart and soul of this team. Unquestioned leader, Wyatt Fischel. And here's the meaningless stat of the day. This is known as Black Friday, right? The original Black Friday came when the stock market crashed in 1929.
I lost a lot of money on that one.
Wyatt Fischel coming into today, his rushing yards, 1929 on Black Friday. Could be an omen, could mean absolutely nothing.
I would go with the latter. And I don't mean DDER. This is
another timeout. I didn't catch it. One timeout left for Arcola, 2 left for Stark County. It was an Arcola timeout. You get a look at the Purple Riders band. Purple Riders. Where does a name like that come from, Jack McInerney? Well, let me tell you. Back in 1933 to 1937, back in your era, Arcola's football team won 33 in a row, and a sports writer from the Champaign area said, "The purple and white ride again." And there you have Purple Riders. It's the only Purple Riders team in Illinois. There's only one other Purple Riders team in the United States, and that is Martins Ferry, Ohio.
I'm very familiar with them.
Are you? Strader looks to throw now. Rolls to his right. Waves of receiver downfield. Oh, almost picked off after the tip.
Good job of keeping the play alive with his feet right there, but not a great job by the receivers of trying to get open. Whenever you run a scramble drill, the deep guys come back and the short guys go away. You can see right there, they're not giving him much to throw to. They're more or less standing around, and that's just a more difficult situation and makes it easier for the defensive backs.
Colin Seaman was the intended receiver. Trace Tudhill almost got the deflection. Clayton Strader will punt into the wind. Actually, not bad. And it hits Tudhill, and it's picked up by Strader. And he's going to take it into the end zone for Arcola. That's Chase Strader. He's the guy that picked off the pass earlier, 31 yards. And that's what we mentioned earlier, those punts into the wind. It can hit the receiving team's blockers, and that's just exactly what happened.
It really is. He can't advance the ball there, but just not a real smart play here by being called off the ball. You should never be in a situation like that where you do not know where the football is. That's just poor communication right there. Now, colleges and pros, a completely different situation.
Caught up in the excitement there a little bit. They can't advance the football, so it'll be, nonetheless, it'll be 1st down and 10 for Arcola at the Stark County 29-yard line. Special teams playing a big role here in the 2nd quarter for Arcola. Here's Fischel trying to get, now he cuts it up inside and drags the pile down to about the 23-yard line. Pickup of 6 for Wyatt Fischel.
It's a big plus when you have offensive linemen that can get out and run in front of you, which they do here. Now, they average 221 pounds on that front 5 offensive linemen. Ray Garza and Jack Spencer and Javi Lay and Dalton Painter and Cole Hutton do a nice job of pulling, trapping, and leading on plays. So when you have linemen that can run, it's a big help to those offensive backs.
2nd and 4. Strader on a delay. Nothing doing that time. Gets back to the line of scrimmage. You talk about this Arcola team and not being tested. Well, they did beat 2 Class A playoff teams during the season. They beat Sangamon Valley Tri-City, and they beat them handily 42-0. They beat another playoff team, Cerro Gordo Bement, 61-0, and they beat Class 1A playoff team Decatur LSA 58-6. And that's kind of when Zach Zier said he thought we had something special. Week 6, 7, and 8, they played 3 playoff teams, allowed 6 points total. Said, yeah, maybe a little better than we thought. Strader brought it down from behind. Sage Pearson.
What an outstanding
6'1"
play.
senior.
Outstanding play in pursuit right there. Just came basically off the backside, had a nice angle. You'll see him coming right through there. Blew the gap on the backside, ran him down from behind. Excellent play and a big play in a situation like this.
His brother Ryan was on the 97 runner-up team for Stark County. He's now the Canton head coach in the Mid-Illini Conference. Every time they've had a Pearson that was a senior, they've made it to the state championship games. Says Sage, and folks in town tell him they want more boys. Here's a completion over the middle to Colin Seaman, and in for the score, Colin Seaman with his 10th touchdown catch of the year, 27 yards. Into the wind for Arcola. They can run it and they can throw it a little bit too.
The roll right here pulled the linebacker up. That's the safety right there, and the linebacker, just that little movement by the quarterback got them to flow in one direction. They ran him right up the seam. Good throw and good catch. Excellent play call.
Mario Cortez for the extra point, missed his first attempt of the day. That one into the wind is up and good. Not sure if the ball deflated that time. It looks like it's still got air in it. First one he kicked deflated, we're told. Here's another look at that pitch and catch.
Now you see all he did was kind of delay. He just took a little jab step to allow the quarterback to kind of roll in one direction, and the linebacker and the safety lost sight of him. That's all he needed. Right over the top, right there. Got back behind Chase Johnson, and that's who was the outside linebacker who was supposed to take him. Because he didn't come out right away out of the backfield. It's just a slight delay. That's all he needed. Good play call, very good execution.
Arcola's offense coming alive here in the second quarter, and they have an explosive offense. After 10 offensive plays against Hardin Calhoun Brussels, they led 26-0 with 2:33 left in the first quarter. That's after 10 offensive plays. So they have that capability, and they've come alive here in the second quarter offensively, driving into the wind and scoring 2 touchdowns to take a 21-7 lead here on Stark County.
Oftentimes statistics can be askew, and what happens is when you look at schedules and you say, well, the competition hasn't been that tough, so consequently that's why their scoring average is so high, and or that's why the statistics for the individual players, the quarterback and the running back, are so high. Well, when you get in games like this is when it really tells you, no, they're not. Those are well-deserved stats because they are just a good, solid football team.
Cortez will pick a bouncer up the middle, and that's Knobloch with it. He'll take it out to about the 35-yard line where Stark County will take over. 19 yards on the return, and they will be without quarterback John Groder, we assume, who was carried off the field. Stark's last 3 drives have totaled 0 yards. Lucas Wisniewski is going to be the quarterback. 5'8" senior. And he'll give it to Chase Johnston for a gain of a couple. Let's go downstairs to Donnie Tillman.
Hey, thanks, Lee. Just an update on John Groder. He was taken over to the sidelines. They looked at his knee. They tried to move it a little bit. He was in obvious pain. They decided to wrap it up, take him into the locker room. He was obviously upset, visibly on his face. His teammates came and patted him on the back and told him it was okay, that they're going to hang in there. So right now, Stark County going with the second option at quarterback.
Wisniewski will keep it himself, and not much there. Yeah, John Groder, what a key to this team he has been coming in. Jade Nord said that he was a better varsity quarterback than he was a sophomore quarterback, and they will be without him seemingly for the rest of the day, and that's a big job now for Lucas Wisniewski to take over at quarterback. He's played running back, 505 yards on the ground, 5 touchdowns, and also caught some balls out of the backfield as well. But he's running the show now for Stark County. He gives to Johnston, and he's got room to run at first down yardage up near midfield. Chase Johnston with the carry, the All-Stater.
Well, the real pressure right now is going to come down on head coach Jade Nord because of the play calling. He knows the personnel issues that he has right here. Now it's going to be the idea, can he utilize Chase Johnson in such a way to take the pressure off of the quarterback? And the play calling is going to be very crucial here.
Well, the good news is you've got an all-state running back in Chase Johnston. Here's Wisniewski, and a pretty good offensive line up front too. Wisniewski will carry it down inside the 45-yard line.
Well, it's great to have an all-state running back there, but what happens is when you lose your quarterback, the dimension changes. Right now, they're going to be focused, obviously, on Chase Johnston.
And a lot of pressure now on the offensive line of Stark County as well. Johnston looking for room to make a move and doesn't, and he's on second down. Going to be awfully close before progress there to the first down.
Nice.
Looks like he got a pretty good spot.
A good tackle right there by Dalton Payton, number 61. Good quickness by the defensive front and linebackers here of Arcola. Very active, very quick to the football. Do a nice job of pursuing, take the proper lanes, good angles of the ball.
I'll go ahead and measure this. It is a first down, Stark County. We welcome you wherever you're watching on Comcast Sportsnet or the IHSA TV network today, and a special hello to everybody in the Wani Cinemas up in Kewanee. If they couldn't make it today, they had a chance to gather there and watch Stark County, so big hello to them. Probably a little warmer there.
You think?
Just a tad. Not bad here, though.
I don't want to use that term, speak for yourself. It's cold, folks, down here, but it is great football weather.
Here's Wisniewski up the middle. Oh, pop there, but a good run by Wisniewski. Giovanni Salinas with a pretty good stick there, the 5'10" senior linebacker for Arcola.
Now, if you notice on that particular play, there was no handoffs, no fakes. Go right to the hole. What this does, because he doesn't get that much work during the week, it cuts down on the mechanical parts that he's got to worry about. So he just runs straight on the straight call, which is an excellent job by the coach of cutting down things that he has to worry about.
Chase Johnson down to about the 35-yard line. Stark County just 4 starters back on offense this season coming into the game, and that was the biggest challenge according to Jade Nord, coming into the season, getting a new quarterback and 4 new wide receivers on same page with a veteran running back, and now a lot of that is going to be on the veteran running back. But here's it's hard for me to say, Wisniewski battling for yards there, but the Arcola defense stepping up and stopping it for no gain.
Good job right there. Excellent job by the defensive linebackers right there, because they're coming up. They know that their main concern right in this particular case is Chase Johnson. And after that, then they'll worry about the quarterback.
4th and 1. Johnston steps through the hole and has a first down for Stark County.
Obviously, that's the go-to guy, no doubt about it. All-Stater has been so productive all year long for him, producing 169 yards a ball game.
Here's Wisniewski. Pretty good pickup there on first down for Wisniewski.
Now again, those will be plays that you'll see him running. He won't be doing a lot of fancy things because during the week, obviously, he doesn't have the opportunity to work on those. So the coach is kind of cutting down on the game plan and the particular plays that the quarterback will be running. There'll be just probably 3 or 4 plays when they go in at halftime. They'll make some adjustments, talk about the plays that he'll be involved in as far as him carrying the football. And for the most part, though, you can see a lot of Chase Johnson this whole second half.
Timeout with 18 seconds to play here in the half. And really, pretty impressive drive for Stark County coming out without their starting quarterback here.
Well, not only the physical aspect of it, but the emotional part of it. You know, they lose him, and what's to think that they don't, go flat, but they didn't do that. So that's a tribute to Coach Nord and the team in sticking together. And that's what's a great thing about high school football. You can, sometimes at the college and pro level, they get all bent out of shape if somebody gets hurt or whatever. At high school level, they're all buddies. They've been going to school together since they were probably in 1st or 2nd grade. They stick together. It's just a great atmosphere.
Stark County with 1 timeout left. Will they try and throw it here? Wisniewski, his first pass attempt, throws to the end zone, and it's incomplete. Logan Knobloch, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 3rd and 2.
Now, in some cases, that is more psychological than effective. He just wanted to probably show the secondary back off a little bit because all of a sudden you got 10 men in the box, which is basically 5 yards inside the line of scrimmage. So he wanted to have them realize that we will throw the ball if we do that. Maybe not as accurately, but still throw the fear into them a little bit.
1 timeout left and a pretty good field goal kicker for Stark County. So we'll see how they play it here. Wisniewski right up the gut. Shakes one tackler, takes it down inside the 15, and the clock stopped with 6 seconds left. And the Stark County crowd has been selling T-shirts called "It's a Carl Thing," and that's for Carl Wallander, their kicker, who I assume we will see here as Stark County takes their final timeout with 2 seconds left. The wind at their back. And a chance to kick a field goal here and cut into that 2-touchdown lead.
I kind of chuckle a little bit because oftentimes you do see this. There's a good shot of that T-shirt. I think they were out of my size when I first came up here. Obviously, they didn't have too many of those things.
There they are. There's the. It's a Carl thing. Carl Wallander is a foreign exchange student from Sweden. He's living with the Minders family, friends of ours from the Stark County area. He kicked a 40. We see your shirt there, yeah. And Carl's got not quite a Raleigh Fingers style mustache, but pretty close. He said it started off pretty nasty, but he's got it going on. He's never kicked a football until this year.
Obviously a very mature young man.
Yes. Kicked a 46-yarder last Sunday, that ended up being the winner for Stark County. I asked him after the game about the kick. He said, I knew I was going to make it. Very matter of fact, not phased at all. I said, do you know how big a deal this is? As he's going to kick a 38-yarder, and it's up and good. Carl Wallander, he said, yeah, I kind of know it's a big deal. Welcome to the States, Carl Wallander.
Yes, he's got a beard and a mustache. I didn't start shaving until I was 25.
He cuts that Arcola lead to 11, going to the locker room with that 38-yard field goal. Again, he kicked a 46-yarder on Sunday that ended up being the winner. And we're going to go downstairs to Donnie Tillman. He's with Zach Zier.
All right, thanks, Lee. Coach, pretty good first half for you. Really got everything executed the way you wanted to?
Yeah, we played very well. We executed no turnovers, kept the big plays to a minimum.
Second quarter, you told your team you got to cut and go, and your offensive line really got the push for you that you needed.
Yeah, our offensive line's playing very well. They're opening stuff up. We're just playing. We had a good offensive first half.
All right, Coach, good luck second half. Appreciate your time.
Thank you very much.
All right, Arcola leads it 21-10 as we go into halftime. I'll send it back up to the booth.
All right, Donnie, thank you very much. Well, Arcola scores on a pick. They score on this touchdown here and take a 21-10 lead to halftime.
Welcome back to Husky Stadium here on the campus of Northern Illinois University. It's halftime of the Class 1A State Football Championship where Arcola leads Stark County 21-10. The first of 4 games taking place on this Friday, a chilly day in DeKalb, but nonetheless a great day for high school football. There were a lot of firsts during the football season this year. One of the most notable was a young lady, Rebecca DeLuca Lane of Glenbard East, scoring the first ever touchdown by a female football player in the state of Illinois. She may have been the first, probably not the last. In Southern Illinois, there is someone else knocking on the door of the history books. Kelly Burke from WSIL has more.
Victoria Mueller loves to push herself in athletics. She is a 4-sport athlete, and she competes in weightlifting competitions. But her favorite sport is football. And when no girl had ever competed for Johnson City's football team, she made it her goal. And she achieved it.
In my 6th grade year during track season, I met the middle school coach, and I got him to help me convince my mom to let me play. And from then on, I've just kind of never gave up on it because it's one of the best sports I've ever experienced playing.
I have never had a player work as hard as she does to have an opportunity to play. After she does our practice, she stays and does the JFL practice, and after the JFL practice, and she comes out and runs a mile on the track, and then she goes over there and flips those tires. She's definitely driven.
As a sophomore, Mueller starts at running back and linebacker for the junior varsity team. She also dresses for the varsity games, and in week 1 this season, she made it onto the field against Hamilton County.
She earned to be in there at the end of the game last week, and she earned to get her first varsity carry.
Go! Run! Attaboy, Vicky!
The next goal Mueller has in her sights is becoming a starter on the varsity team, something she hopes to achieve as a junior.
I don't like things being handed to me. I like to earn them. So I think that if I stepped up next year and I earned a spot, that would mean absolutely everything that I've worked for 4 or 5 years now.
She has tremendous drive that she won't let herself fail. She does everything that you're supposed to do and then a little bit more. She always feels like she has to do more than everybody else, and I'm not going to tell her not to. She told me, she goes, I'm never going to quit. You know, so that says everything it needs to say about Vicky.
Reporting from Johnston City, Caleb Martin, News 3 Sports.
And a great story there in Johnston City. Of course, it's still halftime here at Husky Stadium. 21-10, Arcola leads Stark County. We'll take a quick timeout, but when we come back, we'll get you caught up on the rest of the schedule for today and get you set for the second half kickoff. Welcome back to Husky Stadium here in DeKalb, Illinois, where we are watching the Class 1A State Football Championships. It's Arcola taking on Stark County, and right now the Purple Riders lead the contest 21-10. Of course, the first of 8 games taking place this weekend to decide 8 champions in high school football. So after the Class 1A championship, it's Class 2A kicking off at about 1 o'clock. It'll be Downs Tri-Valley against the Auburn Trojans. And then later this afternoon in Class 3A, Kankakee McNamara will take on Toulon Unity for the Class 3A championship. And then tonight, 7 o'clock kickoff, the Chicago Phillips back in the state championship for a second straight year. They'll take on Belleville Althoff, who knocked off the previous defending Class 4A champion, Rochester Rockets. Now on Saturday, 5A state championship will kick off at 10 a.m. It's LaGrange Park Nazareth Academy taking on Lincoln Way West. And in 6A tomorrow at 1 p.m., Lombard Montini back in the state championship game. Nothing new there. They'll take on Creek Monee. In 7A, it's Glenbard West taking on Libertyville. That game will kick off at 4 p.m. And in Class 8A, the championship game will be decided between Loyola Academy and Chicago Marist. So 8 games, 8 champions will be decided this weekend in prep high school football. Again, Arcola leads Stark County 21-10 here at halftime. We're about 5 minutes away from kickoff, so we'll take a quick break and get you ready for the second half of this Class 1A state championship.
And we are back in DeKalb. 21-10, our halftime score. Arcola leading Stark County. Lee Hall, Jack McInerney, Donnie Tillman with you from DeKalb on a gray, overcast, windy, chilly day as we play state championship high school football and take a look at some first half highlights of this 1A state championship game. 2 undefeated teams coming into this ball game. And there was a key moment early in the game, a pick, but first, a pass interference call that helped keep the drive alive for Stark County as Chase Johnston carries it in from 11 yards. And Stark County had the 7-0 lead, but the Purple Riders come back even after this great defensive play by the Stark County defense. Chase Strader with the pickoff here, and that got the Purple Riders on the scoreboard. They missed the extra point. It was 7-6. Then it's Clayton Strader calling his own number, taking it in for the score. The 2-point conversion made it 14-7. And then, after this nice defensive play here by Stark County Sage Pearson, it was Strader going up top to Colin Seaman for the touchdown for Arcola. Stark County added a field goal right before halftime, and it's 21-10. And there's a look at the first half stats. Jack McInerney and Arcola with the edge in both rushing yards and passing yards, and the scoreboard. 2 turnovers for Stark County in that first half.
Well, controlling the clock is going to be so very important in the second half. But right there, you can see the rush yardage. That's the difference, obviously, in the ball game. And of course, with an injury now to the quarterback in the second half is going to be very, very dramatic for Stark County, because it's going to change the whole dynamics of their offensive game plan for this particular game. Both teams rushed the ball extremely well, but now things are going to change in the second half.
Let's go back downstairs to Donnie Tillman. He's with Jade Nord.
All right, thanks, Lee. Coach Nord, you guys were talking on the sidelines in the late first half to say, we've been here before, just keep it together. What did you tell your team at halftime?
You know, we're going to have to be real good defensively in this second half with losing John. You know, tightens up our playbook quite a bit. So we're going to have to be good defensively and see if we can put a drive together. I was happy with the way we regrouped there at the end of the half and put a nice drive together to get some points on the board.
This team confident with going to the second option at quarterback?
Yeah, I think so. They believe in Lucas, and you know, we become a little run-oriented, but I like the way that we move the ball there, and we'll see what we can get going here in the third quarter.
All right, Coach, good luck in the second half. Appreciate your time. We'll send it back up to the booth.
All right, Donnie, thank you very much. Thanks, Coach Nord. We will be back with the second half kickoff coming up from DeKalb. 21-10. Arcola leads Stark County in our 1A state title game here on Comcast Sportsnet. We are back in DeKalb at Husky Stadium. 21-10 our score at halftime. Arcola leading Stark County. You take the every other year break from Champaign and head north here to DeKalb for some high school football action. The first of 8 state championships to be decided here this weekend. And tough break. We are told that John Groder, the Stark County quarterback, came out on crutches but has returned to the locker room for Stark County. Jade Nord says our playbook got a lot smaller. Now the good news for Stark County is they have been a second half team defensively. He talked about really needing to shore things up defensively and kind of keep Arcola where they're at. Stark County recorded their 3rd second half shutout in 4 playoff games when they shut out Ottawa Marquette in the second half on Sunday.
Well, they're going to really have to tighten that up because they lost 159 yards of total offense when they lost that quarterback, and that's quite a contribution when you look at an offense. Now they've become somewhat one-dimensional with Chase Johnson, but as Coach mentioned, and we saw in that last drive, they're going to do very simple plays with the quarterback, just straight running power plays, that type of thing. The thing that's going to hurt them is if they have to throw the football.
And that's kind of been the Stark County offense this year. I asked Jade Nord earlier this week about it, his run offense, and most of the yards coming between the tackles for Chase Johnson. He said that's because we have big guys who can move people. We've been a little bit more outside oriented in the past, and when we saw Wisniewski have success there on that drive to end the first half, I thought it was just him taking the ball and going immediately to the hole. If he messed around too much in the backfield, Arcola's defense was reacting.
Well, that's when you're looking at quickness as opposed to power. Now, when that offensive line, don't do anything fancy, just get right in behind him and let them make the contact. If you do too many counters and everything like that, those linemen have to sustain their blocks longer, and that makes it more difficult to do. So I think the way that he's doing it is the right way. Just go right at him right away and use that experienced offensive line, as you mentioned.
What did you see Arcola do offensively in that first half? How can Stark County counteract that? I mean,
it's going to be tough because Arcola has versatility in a quarterback and a running back. They throw it when they need to, but the versatility of having that quarterback that can run, and then they both are over 1,000-yard rusher. Quarterback rushes for 1,000, the running back rushes for 1,000. That's great balance in the backfield. So it's going to be very, very tough for Stark County defensively in the second half.
Stark County will kick it away into the wind to start the second half. Clayton Strader and Sam Crane back to receive for Arcola, but it's short and covered up by Seth Still at the 38-yard line.
Well, this is where legends and stories are made of. In the state championship game, all of a sudden, one of your star quarterbacks gets hurt and somebody comes out of the woodwork or from behind the curtains and becomes a hero. Who knows? This could be that kind of a situation.
Clayton Strader will start things off for Arcola, heading with the wind this half. Takes it to the 45, pickup of 7 on first down, and you talked about the importance of first down. And we saw right there as they get a good start. Now it's 2nd and 3, and your offense can really click from there.
And the other thing is, too, you're looking at a team that likes to run the football and doesn't throw all that much, and here they have the wind. They might not need to throw the football because ball control and possession is very, very important. And they'll take advantage of it.
Strader will keep it himself. Now he goes back the other way. There's going to be a hold against Colin Seaman on that one, as Strader's brought down at the 40.
And anytime you have a broken play like that, that's usually when the hold occurs, because the defensive lineman changed direction rather quickly.
Holding, number 7, decline.
Colin Seaman had a handful of jersey on that one. It's decline. It'll bring up 3rd and 3 now for Arcola.
Well, this is what Stark County wants, is for Arcola to make their own mistakes to help them. And that puts them in a deeper situation as far as yardage is concerned right here.
Check it, 3rd and 8.
But here's a situation where you got a quarterback that's very efficient running the football and throwing the ball on the run. You might see him rolling out right now to have the run-pass option. Is.
Strader rolling left, stops, throws downfield, and no, it's incomplete. I thought it was picked off, but it's ruled incomplete. That was Daniel Beam, who had a hand on it and almost came down with it.
There's your option right here where you get him out on the edge, but not a really good run routes. Two receivers right there in the same position, and what that does is it brings 2 defenders together. Now, if that would have been a single route, but a different story. Good job right there, putting a little pressure on him, forcing him to pull up and throw the football rather than continue running. That's the stop that they needed right there.
Clayton Strader to punt. He averages 24 per kick. He's got the wind at his back and a booming, spiraling kick that bounces at the 25-yard line. It takes an Arcola bounce. Can they get there? And they will down it at the 1-yard line, inside the 1. After a great defensive stop by Stark County, a tough break there, and they will start at their own, inside their own 1-yard line after a 59-yard punt by Clayton Strader. Special teams, oh so important this time of year.
And what's going to happen right now is Arcola is going to come after them, hook, line, and all these sinkers. They're going to have 10 men in the box.
Their special teams are important all year long, but it just seems like they seem more important here in the postseason. Wisniewski, the backup quarterback, inside his own end zone. Gets back to about the 1 and not much more there.
Well, what coach is doing there is he really spread out the formations to pull out as many people as he could to spread the field. But those linebackers are sitting in tight because they know that Stark County is probably not going to throw the football down here. So you watch the formations, they try to pull them out of there, but those linebackers are staying home.
Again, if you're just joining us, John Groder, the starting quarterback for Stark County, 1,700-yard passer this season, out with a knee injury. Wisniewski, the ball hit the ground. Was he down? Arcola thinks they have it.
They're marking him down from the looks of it.
I'm going to say Wisniewski was down at the 3.
There just wasn't enough excitement by Arcola on that. They start jumping all over the place and kind of get a better idea. But you can see right there, the linebackers aren't going anywhere. They know that they're not going to throw the football, so normally linebackers would probably drop out a little bit in coverage. They're not doing it. They're coming, being very aggressive.
3rd and 8. Tough spot for Stark County here. Gives to Johnston. Not much there either. So they'll have to punt into this win, and that field position game really swung Arcola's way after that 50-plus yard punt, 59-yard punt by Clayton Strader.
Worst case scenario just really occurred for Stark County coming out in the second half. Just the worst case scenario as far as field position and what they had to do. And now they're going to give up great field position to Arcola.
Knobloch punting into the wind from his own end zone. Kind of bounced sideways off his foot out to the 25. So a very short field this time for Arcola as they take over 1st and 10 from the Stark County 25. There's the wind he's kicking into.
I'd say that's about that's a good 2 to 3 club win right there. A lot of pressure right there that was on.
Are you considered a professional golfer now?
No, but
since you play for a living?
Fun. But meteorology was one of my minors in school.
Wyatt Fischel hurdles a lineman, moves the pile down inside the 15-yard line. Zach Zier says he sets the tone physically and brings it every day. And Point Break. He looks like the guy's in Point Break with that blonde hair. Look at him hurdle there and just keep the pile moving here. Good power by Wyatt Fischel.
And a better job by that offensive line that came out and pulled the guard and the tackle trapping on that particular play. So he's out for one play. I think you'll see Clayton Strader here running with the football.
1st and 10 inside the 15. Strader keeps it himself, as you called it. He steps inside the 5 and brought down at about the 2-yard line from Clayton Strader. Now a pickup of about 13 there.
Now, as we mentioned, Stark County lost their quarterback who contributes 159 yards of total offense. On the same note here, Clayton Strader contributes 174 yards of total offense per game for Arcola. So both quarterbacks have been great contributors, but now one of them doesn't have that contributor.
1st and goal from the 2. It's Strader. He's popped in the backfield and brought down by Sage Pearson, number 74.
Excellent defensive play right there by Pearson.
Second on the team in tackles. One of several players on the Stark County team with a 4.0 grade point average.
And he goes both ways, which means he's a very well-conditioned athlete.
Move the ball back a couple. It'll be second and goal from the 4 now for Arcola, leading 21-10. Give inside to Fischel, and not much there either. He's going to lose about a yard.
Good job right there. That's a difference. The offensive line is really not getting much of a push against Stark County's defense, and what they're doing is they're also sending those linebackers on the snap immediately to fill the gaps, realizing that Arcola is probably not going to throw the ball in this situation.
So after first and goal from the 2, Arcola's gone backwards the last 2 plays. It's third and goal from the 5. Zach Zier wants timeout. Get a good look at the third-year head coach. Went from DMAC High School, where he played quarterback for Jim McDonald, into the Army, was a member of the 10th Mountain Division Light Infantryman in Afghanistan. And he said, described that experience to us and said that turns you into a man very quickly.
And hats off to him for his contributions to our great country. Thank him for his service.
He got a medical discharge after shattering an ankle, then went to Illinois State for school, volunteer assistant for Jim McDonald at DMAC, 2-year assistant to Brett Cazalet at Fieldcrest, and then was the defensive coordinator for Cazalet at Dunlap, and actually got a chance to see Stark County live on Sunday in Dunlap. How small a world is it? Arcola, he's the head coach at Arcola, but he had been an assistant at Dunlap, and the Stark County game ended up there because of the field conditions on Saturday. So Zach Zier and his staff and several of the players got to see Stark County live on Sunday as that game was delayed, and that was quite a scene. There were over 100 volunteers in Dunlap that day. Stark County folks, Ottawa Marquette folks, Dunlap folks with shovels clearing the field so Stark County could get that game in on Sunday after having it delayed. Here's third and goal. Strader looked to throw, had the ball up, but takes it in himself from the 5, and it's another Arcola touchdown. Strader rushing for the touchdown, his second of the game.
Well, by holding the football like he did right there, that kept the defensive backs from coming up too quickly. Now, if he would have tucked it immediately, they would have came up, but he kept it in the throwing position, so they played a somewhat little softer and not aggressive run look, and when you have a quarterback can do both.
Mario Cortez for the point after missing his first one. He's been perfect on the last 2, and it's a 28-10 lead. So a defensive stop for Stark County on the first drive, but that special teams play set up Arcola, and they take advantage and go up 28-10. Tuesday night, the Blackhawks hit home ice for a Central Division battle with the Minnesota Wild. Coverage starts at 6:30 on CSN Chicago. Not sure they could play hockey here today, but it's a little bit brisk, and it's a 28-10 lead for Arcola. Now Black brings it out to the 29-yard line. That's where Stark County will take over without their starting quarterback. John Groder out with a knee injury, and so far since that injury, Stark County's been held to just a field goal. As you take a look at that Arcola scoring drive, boy, it's an easier game when you've got a short field, and that was a 25-yard drive for Arcola, set up by that wonderful Clayton Strader punt.
Well, he's the man that's been the key all season long, the versatility he possesses as a quarterback run throw and also as an outstanding defensive back.
The Arcola defensive line knows what's coming at them, and they step up and make a stop there for little or no gain on first down.
Well, this really puts the pressure not so much on the quarterback, but it really puts the pressure on the offensive line of Stark County, because they know right now these guys are coming after them. And so there's not a lot of versatility to what they can do. It's mostly knowing that they're going to have to stop the run block.
Lucas Wisniewski is in at quarterback, and he'll make his second pass attempt of the day. It's complete to Chase Johnson. He's close to a first down out near the 39, 38-yard line.
What a nice, safe throw. Just a little flare route out in the flat. That's all you need to do. Looks away. Good job of looking away to keep the linebackers inside to allow them to get to the flat outside. And just a good, safe play. But a big play right here.
Pickup of 9 makes it 3rd and 1 for the Rebels. Going into the wind, trailing 28-10. They need to get something going offensively. Chase Johnson bounces it outside, and he'll have a first down for Stark County. He averages 170 yards per game for the Rebels.
That's a big play right there. They need to do well on first down, and of course right here sometimes third down conversions can be so very crucial, and that was one of them. The play calling is going to be just crucial here by Coach Nord in this situation. Again, trying to spread them out by formation, put less pressure on the quarterback.
Johnson with 75 yards so far in this ball game, and he's met behind the line of scrimmage. Arcola's defense stepping up there. Dalton Pantier in on the stop. He had a block point after against GCMS that ended up winning the game for the Purple Riders.
Well, that's a situation right there where they basically were on block and coming. You can see the wide splits by the linemen. In some cases that can help you as far as blocking schemes, but in this particular case the quickness of the defense makes it very difficult for those offensive linemen to close those gaps down.
Wisniewski popped at the 40-yard line. No gain that time. Giovanni Salinas in on another tackle.
Well, when those linebackers know that for the most part they don't have to drop into coverage, they can just come up and help on the run. It's a field day for good, tough linebackers. Good job right there by Salinas.
The starting defense for Arcola has only allowed 1 rushing touchdown all year coming into today. They allowed one to Chase Johnson earlier. And this is Knobloch with it, as he falls down to about the 46-yard line.
More of like almost a little pistol look coming out of there. Well, again, these punts will be crucial as far as field position. And that wind.
Logan Knobloch will be punting into it again. Tries to kick a little low liner, rugby type style kick. And it'll be Arcola starting from their own 25-yard line this time. Last time they started from the Stark County 25-yard line and scored. 3:13 left in the third. It's Arcola, the 18-point lead. Lee Hall, Jack McInerney, Donnie Tillman back at Husky Stadium in DeKalb. 28-10, the Arcola lead here with 3:13 left in the third quarter, and they've got 3:13 left with the win. They've done it with the win. They've scored into the win. They've done it either way today.
They've been operating on all cylinders.
Pitch that time to Wyatt Fischel. A little different look from Arcola.
Very slow developing play, which really played into the hands there of Stark County's defense, and that's what they'd like to see. They don't want those quick hitters coming up the middle and by Strader and Fischel. So if they want to go slow like that, that's okay with Stark County.
Fischel averages 13.5 yards per carry.
That's an amazing statistic over a period of 13 games.
Strader goes to a first down at the 35-yard line. Pickup of 7.
See, that play hits a lot quicker, and just that little fake that he gave to Fisher pulls that linebacker just one step, and that's all he needs to set up the block for himself to get around on the other side. Putting a lot of pressure on that defense.
Zach Sear says Clayton Strader is ridiculously shifty. He's got an innate ability to see the field.
Well, we've seen that on all those runs, even down close in the red zone there. He's got very quick feet.
Official on 3rd down, and he'll be very close to a 1st down there.
You know, when you get down in the red zone, speed isn't all that important. What you need down in the red zone is quickness. There's a big, big difference between speed and quickness.
Interesting mark there. I thought he was out near the 35-yard line, but it's marked inside the 34, and that'll be 4th down for Arcola. Hard to tell when he's in that scrum down there, but it looked like he was up near the 35-yard line.
Another decision maker here. He's not exactly sure if this is what he wants to do, so he's going to think about it.
Zach Sear calls timeout. Talk about the head coaches a lot, but the assistant coaches, really the unsung heroes on both sides. And you look at the resumes on the Arcola sideline. Jim Fischel, one of the assistants, a champion for Arcola in '78. Chad Hopkins, another assistant coach, won a state championship in '85 and '88 with Arcola. And then there's Tommy Edelman. That name may sound familiar, the grandson of Illini legend Dyke Edelman.
I have friends that played for him. Well, this is a situation where he went out and just made sure that the offensive linemen knew exactly what they were going to do, and just made the, probably in some cases you'd be surprised coaches go out there and say, what do you think? Can we pick it up? And right now, they're probably saying it's probably a better situation to take advantage of the wind, put them down in the hole, punt the ball, and let our defense look for a turnover.
Let's go to Donnie Tillman.
Hey guys, real quick, coach actually signaled a play in. I was there on the sidelines and he forgot it was 4th down. That's where the importance of the assistants come in. They were able to remind him that they needed to punt the ball.
There's a lot to keep track of down there, isn't there? Really nice punt by Strader.
And that was an outstanding play right there to make that catch without it hitting the turf. You can usually get anywhere from 10 to 15 more yards if it hits the turf, but that's very important to be back there and catch the football.
That was a huge swing on the last punt by Clayton Strader. 34-yard punt that time. 1:12 left in the quarter. Stark County going into the wind. They'll have the wind at their backs. They trail by 18. The wind is the least of their problems right now. A little bit different look that time from Stark County. Now a little extracurricular activity after the play was called dead.
Not a real smart play right there.
It's Chase Johnson with the carry. We'll see who the flag goes against with a little extracurricular activity on the blocking there after the play was over.
Personal foul, number 7, 15 yards.
The call will go against Colin Seaman of Arcola.
You'll see it right at the end here. He just kind of grabs the jersey and pulls him. Good job right here is staying home right at the top of your screen right there. I think he's being a little offended by the blocking. Not a very smart play at all by Colin Seaman. And I think coach agrees with that.
Sometimes those things happen though. It's an emotional game, right?
That's true, but you want a little more discipline in that.
Johnston puts his shoulder down, tries to get an extra yard or two.
And again, that's a good pickup on 1st down.
Gain of about 4.
Good job right here by the surge of the offensive line. Good pursuit, but again, picking up 1st down is very important for them. Picking up 4 yards on 1st down, excuse me.
It's actually Wyatt Shupp on that carry as Jade Nord's trying to utilize some different weapons here without his starting quarterback, John Groder, out with a knee injury for this game. That was Chase Johnston that time.
There's
time runs out.
Big big dramatic change in the game plans here, and certainly will be more so in the fourth quarter.
Can Stark County get something going offensively? We will find out. There's 12 minutes to play here in our 1A state championship game. Stick with us on Comcast Sportsnet. Country Financial will help you build a plan with insurance and financial solutions to help you get where you want to go. Call your local rep at 1-866-COUNTRY or visit countryfinancial.com. Lee Hall, Jack McInerney, Donnie Tillman here in DeKalb on a windy, chilly day for 1A state championship football. Stark County trailing by 18 as we start the fourth quarter. And on third down.
Nice run.
Pretty nice run there by Wyatt Shupp. Just 204 yards coming into the ball game for the sophomore, but Jaden Nord is going to have to dig a little deeper into that run playbook, run portion of the playbook.
Yeah, that was just a good job right there, picking up that first down. Well, it wasn't a first down.
Did not. It's a hold against Stark County.
It was a first down, but not anymore.
Now, if Stark County can't afford to make any mistakes now if they have any chance of getting back into this game.
Not at all, especially on plays like that where they get a great effort, great second effort to pick up a first down and they lose it. The toughest part for me from the standpoint of as a fan of high school football is to see a player get hurt in the state championship game and doesn't have the opportunity to help himself and or the rest of the team.
And now the new quarterback, Cade Tuthill, sophomore, rolls right, throws a pretty nice ball. It's incomplete and short, but pretty nice spiral as he's not too happy with that. Cade Tuthill, 6'1", sophomore, younger brother of Trace Tuthill, the senior DB. Again, John Groder, their starting quarterback, injured, carried off the field in the second quarter with a knee injury. And maybe Jaden Nord looking to expand the playbook back a little bit there with a quarterback who can throw the ball.
Well,
inexperienced though he may be.
And then what will happen there is the linebackers, they'll just start stunning a lot more to put pressure on him, knowing he's very inexperienced. What they need here is a good kick.
Shupp with the punt this time. And it takes a Stark County bounce. We saw that.
It's a turf bounce.
We saw that in the third quarter from Arcola. That was a 43-yard punt that time. As Wyatt Shupp steps in to punt, Logan Knobloch is the regular punter. And there's a good look at Zach Zier, the third-year head coach for Arcola. We mentioned that he worked for Brett Cazalet. He said that influenced him. Great offensive mind from Coach Cazalet. He's a cutting-edge guy. Learned where to attack and why. And Jim McDonald, his high school coach, he says that guy's the reason I'm a coach. He is football to me. Official with the carry on first down, pickup of a couple.
Even the score, though the score doesn't indicate it when you're looking at 28 points up on the board, for the most part, Stark County has not played that bad a defense. They've had some crucial turnovers that have contributed to Arcola's score, but they have not played that very poorly.
2nd and 8. Strader on the keep. Takes it out across the 25-yard line, close to the 30, and it'll be a first down for Arcola.
That's just the old counter with the guard and tackle pulling out in front of him. He takes a little stutter step right there to allow the guard and tackle to get out in front, the guard to trap, and the tackle lead up inside. When you have a quarterback that's nice and quick like that, picks up a big first down for you.
Clayton Strader, a state champion in the 4x400 meter relay. The 4x100 meter relay. His 4x200 relay team was second, and he was third in the 300 hurdle. So he is quick, and he has shown the ability to not only run quickly but run tough as he carries the football. No gain there, but what a day he's having at quarterback for Arcola.
Well, anytime, again, we've mentioned before, you have that versatility in the quarterback, and that's becoming more predominant nowadays in high school football when everybody's gone into spread formation, is they're looking for better athletes back there. It used to be the quarterback that could have been a bigger, taller kid that just threw from the pocket with a strong arm. Not anymore. Everybody's looking for that athlete that can run and throw. He doesn't have to be that great a passer, but just be effective. But if he can run out of that position, that's a big plus.
Colasino is the man in motion. He gets the handoff. Brought down at about the 36-yard line.
You're even seeing that now in professional football, where you get that outstanding athlete. Years ago, that never happened. Now you get those quarterbacks, Cam Newton, for example, and they just add a completely different dimension to the offense.
You don't think Sonny Jurgensen could run this offense?
Not after Thanksgiving meal, he couldn't.
All the young people are like, what's a Sonny Jurgensen? 3rd and 3. 9 minutes to play in this 1A state championship. Bad snap, great handle there by Strader. Gives it off to Fischel. He's got a first down and more out near midfield. Boy, you talk about an athletic play. How about Strader? That was a ground ball up the middle on that snap. He was able to pick it up and get to Fischel, and the timing was not disrupted at all. Look at this.
That's just an outstanding play. You can see how quickly he gets the ball up to Fischel to make this outstanding run. Just really a good effort. First down right here. Second effort. Threw off the timing for the lineman, but you can see right there how well Wyatt Fischel can run with the football, even when it's not the best time to play.
He looks like he could maybe run some hurdles too if they were real low.
The low hurdles.
There you go. 1st and 10, Arcola. Strader keeps it himself. He's down inside the 45-yard line into Stark County territory.
Now that's the same fake off the play that preceded it. Just a little option look going to the backside, or sometimes it's a counter going back. But they give you the flow on one play. It's kind of a series, and they come back with the play on the other side. Oftentimes he'll read that. If they close down on the backside too quickly, he'll pull it out and keep it and go backside rather than go with the original ride to Fischel.
85 yards rushing for Strader, 95 for Fischel. Pretty balanced between those two here for Arcola today. Not much there that time for Wyatt Fischel. And talk about the great tradition. They're going for their 4th state championship. The Purple Riders trying to go 14-0, and Wyatt Fischel is a 3rd-generation Purple Rider. His dad and 2 of his uncles played on the state championship teams back in the 80s. His grandfather played on undefeated teams for Arcola back in the 1950s. So tradition and winning goes way back for the Fischels and way back for Arcola as they go for their 4th state championship here today, leading by 18. 3rd down. Strader rolling left, looking, and one hops at Daniel Mendoza was the intended receiver.
That's part of what I think is so interesting about the smaller class football programs. You know, the community involvement. You talk about just what you mentioned as far as the families involved, the uncles, the fathers, the grandfathers, brothers. It just, the whole community is always involved, and I think that's just one of the neatest things about footballs on Friday with the smaller communities. It's just a great situation.
Strader punts into the wind. It's down there at the 19-yard line. 35-yard punt for Clayton Strader. Done a great job there. That is fun, I think, to watch the kids that play on both sides of the football. You got Clayton Strader, who never leaves the field.
It's a completely different brand of football, and what I mean by that, not to say diminish the quality of it. It's the type of football that's being played by kids that got to go both ways. How the practice organization during the week, because it does take a difference in coaching those kids from one side to the other, setting up your scout teams when you have smaller rosters, all those kind of things. It's such a tribute to these smaller programs that they are so good and so efficient and certainly for the teams that get here to the state championship and their coaching staffs.
Tash Johnson, a pickup of a couple. He averages 170 yards, and he's got about 80 yards so far in this game as he trots to the sideline. Second and 9 for Stark County. They've got, the clock is not their friend right now. Cade Tuthill, the sophomore, rolling, and he's picked off. Picked off by Wyatt Fischel, and Fischel takes it down to about the 11-yard line. He's marked down at the 13, clutching his shoulder as he gets up. Another interception. The Arcola defense has stood tall in this ball game.
Well, that's just pressure right here. Just underthrows the ball. You can see that it was an ill-advised throw with good coverage underneath. Just dropping underneath the ball. And had nowhere to go with it, but that was his only receiver on that side of the hash marks.
Arcola with the ball and an 18-point lead. 6:18 to play in this one. Strader up the middle. Breaks a tackle. Actually, somebody grabbed his leg and wasn't able to hold on, so Strader stayed on his feet and takes it down to the 6-yard line. A pickup of 7 for Clayton Strader, the senior quarterback.
That's a term where the term elusiveness comes in. When you see a player like that, spins around, good quickness, good visibility. Not a real big football player at 5'8", 150 pounds, but has a lot of heart and an awful lot of just natural ability.
Well, and Zach Zier talks about Clayton Strader, who started playing quarterback as a sophomore, and the line wasn't as developed as it is now, and he spent a lot of time running for his life as a sophomore. Then the development continued last year where he didn't have to run scared, and then he starts seeing things, and now as a senior he's developed into quite a player.
Well, that's normally the development that takes place with quarterbacks. It's sometimes a very difficult learning curve, and but then success makes it almost all well worth it, obviously.
Illegal substitution pushes the ball back a little bit for Clayton Strader, who's back to throw. Now gets out of trouble, rolling right, looking for someone. Nobody there. Keeps it himself and is out of bounds at about the 8-yard line.
Smart play right there, because his receiver didn't do much but stand right in the corner of the end zone and wave his arms at him instead of making some moves to get free. Again, it's one of those situations where on Thursdays you run what we call a scramble drill. It takes about 2 minutes, and you kind of have your quarterback scramble. The receivers break off their routes. You actually practice that. And if like you're in the red zone, you start running more horizontal routes, obviously, than you do vertical routes, and try and come back to and make something happen to ditch that defensive back.
Third down handoff is to Fischel, and he takes it down to the 2-yard line.
Good job right now. Good first down. That play was really initiated by the offensive line. You can see right there, 61 and 53. Ray Garza getting out in front, and Dalton Painter. They've been doing that all day long. And both of those young men, Garza's 260 and Painter's 240. So you can see that they can run pretty well for big football players.
Wyatt Fischel now over 100 yards, over 800 yards in the postseason for the Arcola senior. First and goal, Purple Riders. Strader throwing, complete, touchdown Arcola. Seth Still with a touchdown catch. Just his 4th touchdown catch of the year, and it makes it 34-10 Purple Riders with the extra point to follow.
Nothing real fancy here, just a little roll, just an out cut. The defensive backs were looking inside because they've been running the ball so very effectively. Just throws the ball up, good out cut, good throw, good result.
2 touchdown runs, 2 touchdown passes now for Clayton Strader, the senior quarterback, adding to that Arcola lead. The extra point is up and good for Mario Cortez. 35-10. Arcola starting to feel it with 4:57 left. That's the difference between a state championship for Arcola. Tomorrow, the IHSA State Football Championship games continue with the Class 5A through 8A championship games. Watch tomorrow beginning at 10 a.m. Visit csnchicago.com/IHSA for complete listings. We'll be here the rest of the day, too. That's Logan Knobloch with it for Stark County. He takes it out to the 40-yard line as 4:48 away for a state championship for Arcola. That was a 23-yard return for Logan Knobloch.
I always look forward to this weekend after a long season when it all starts out in August with double sessions and it kind of comes down to this. It's just a very exciting weekend. Such great tradition in the state of Illinois with high school football championships on Thanksgiving weekend. And there's nothing more exciting than being on a team that's going to be playing in the state championship and you practice on Thanksgiving morning.
Wisniewski back at quarterback for Stark County. He hands off to Chase Johnson for the carry for Stark County. And it's never over till it's over, somebody once said, but with 4:30 and counting, the Stark County kids are probably starting to realize that their dreams of a state championship won't be realized here today.
It's like anything else, though. To get there, you can't win a state championship if you don't get here. And they had a great season getting here, and just the luck of the draw of having an injury.
Wisniewski keeps it himself, takes it down to the 40-yard line.
But let's not diminish, though, how well Arcola has played. It certainly just hasn't been the injury that Stark County occurred to their quarterback, John Grover, but the fact that Arcola has played extremely well.
They've scored 35 points.
Right, and been very effective and has moved the football in really good situations. Great versatility, great job of play calling by Coach Sayers throughout the entire ball game. Keeping,
looks like maybe a retro sweatshirt there. I wonder if that's...
he just put it on prior to that play.
I wonder if that's...
could be a throwback.
I don't know that story. I wonder maybe if there's some significance there. Maybe Donnie can find out real quick for us. Vintage clothing, that's what they call it. Vintage clothing. That's what they call your wardrobe, don't they?
They're the right prices when you go there. Cobwebs are easy to dust off.
Wisniewski standing at the 48-yard line, gives it off to Johnston, the All-Stater. And this, we talked about Arcola and how they hadn't been tested, but they did see in that GCMS game, Jack, that 14-13 game, Zach Zier said, we finally had to play the fourth quarter. It was the first time all year, and they picked up their game as the game went on, and we've seen that here today from Arcola as well in the state championship game. Here's Johnston running free now inside, down to the 10-yard line, inside the 10. It's a pickup of 21 from Chase Johnson, who says, hey, don't be talking about this game being over yet, old man.
And don't be talking about the fact that, he's an All-Stater, he's been productive all year long, so it's not going to... as long as he's in the football game, he's given 100%, and that's a guarantee. He's had a great career at Stark County.
He's now over 100 yards for the game as he gets the carry again for a couple of yards.
And again, to watch these players being able to go both ways with such outstanding effort is really a tribute to their conditioning.
Tillman.
All right, so you guys wanted to know about the vintage Arcola sweater. Well, apparently it has some history. It's actually been worn in 5 of the previous 6 championship games, so they felt, why not bring it out today? And it looks like it's a winner, literally.
Do you know what year that's from? That could be late 70s maybe, huh?
I'll try and ask Coach, but he's still walking the sidelines right now, so I'm still trying to get some information out of him.
That looks like something I might have worn back in the day, and I was in high school in '78.
Your closet's pretty extensive, though, Lee, so I don't know.
But that doesn't mean he's got good taste.
Well, he's got... Those are some good Peoria Spalding colors. They're purple and gold, I got to tell you.
I'll let you guys decide on that one.
The thing is, it's newer than anything McInerney owns.
Well, that's a distinct possibility. I don't want to sound like a favorite for anybody one way or another, but I would like to see Stark County punch one in right here on this last drive.
Sure. Been a tough day for the Rebels, but they continue to battle here in the closing moments. Wisniewski throws it into the end zone, but incomplete, in and out of the hands of the intended receiver.
Well, they're giving it to him. He had possession long enough.
They call it a touchdown to Logan Knobloch. Well, all you got to do is have possession of it once you're across that plane, and they say he had it. Let's take another look.
Pretty good throw off that fake, kept the linebackers in. Questionable, but it's not going to have any effect on the outcome of the game. And of course, to me, if it's that close, he's got it.
Wallender for the extra point. It's up and good, and Stark County scores with 49 seconds to play, 35-17, and gives the Rebels fans something to cheer about here in the final minute of the state championship game.
And you're exactly right. Gives them something to cheer about. They've had a great season with a great team in front of them. They had an outstanding year last year, and played with a lot of heart today. Great effort. They just came up to a very hot Arcola team.
20th straight playoff appearance for Stark County. It goes back to Gary Johnson and Tim Karstens and Jade Nord. What a great job he's done as the head football coach. His dad was a Hall of Fame football coach in Iowa. He's done a great job as you take a look at that scoring drive. 9 plays, 61 yards. And on that scoring drive, Chase Johnson going over 100 yards for the game, 112 yards rushing. So a valiant effort indeed by Stark County. You lose your starting quarterback. I don't care who you are, if you're in the NFL, if you're in high school football, anywhere in between. You lose your starting quarterback, it's going to be a tough road to go for the rest of the day.
No doubt about it.
So Stark County will kick off here in the final minute of this state championship game. Don't go anywhere. We've got 2A state championship football to follow. Auburn and Tri-Valley out of Downs, just outside Bloomington. They are the top-ranked team in the state, taking on an unranked Auburn team that started 1-3, but here they are in the state championship game.
Well, this has been a good
2A
kickoff.
coming up next.
This has been a good kickoff to an outstanding weekend of football down here in DeKalb.
You mean up here in DeKalb?
For me, it's kind of down.
Yeah, for those of us below I-80. And Clayton Strader takes a knee at about the 17-yard line, and 44 seconds standing between Arcola and the state championship, and they are starting to celebrate over on the purple side of the stadium. This will be the 4th state championship for Arcola out of the Little Okaw Valley Conference.
The other thing that to me was amazing, we talked about the temperature and the conditions here, but both these schools and communities have really turned up in mass here. Really two good crowds here.
Stark County consolidation has been around since 1992. We mentioned Wyoming, Toulon, Lafayette, Bradford kids can either go to Stark County, Henry, or Bureau Valley, so there's some Bradford folks here too. And Arcola bringing the whole town here on the other side. And we want to thank very quickly, Jade Nord, Zach Zier for their help this week with getting together all the numbers and the stories. Our thanks to Matt Troha, the IHSA, and Mike Monahan of the Journal-Gazette Times-Courier down in Mattoon. As the purple-clad Purple Riders start to celebrate.
Well, we're going to have our first state champion of a long and exciting weekend ahead of us here. And there it all starts.
That traditional sweatshirt Some good luck for Arcola today as they are your Class 1A state champion.
That's great to see. Really brings these communities closer together. Not that they're not tight-knit already, but football always does something for communities, especially if you have a very successful season.
So much pride on both sides. The Stark County Rebels, just a wonderful program. Jade Nord, and what a job they've done. Their third state championship games, and just only been in existence since 1992 as a high school. And you look at Arcola, they are the third winningest team program in the state of Illinois after East St. Louis Senior and Mount Carmel. And they add another win to that total here today as they take home the state championship. Arcola, your 1A state championship. We'll have more coming up from DeKalb here on Comcast Sportsnet. The Arcola Purple Riders finish 14-0 and win the 4th state championship in school history. Let's go downstairs to Donnie Tillman.
All right, thanks, Lee. I'm joined by Coach Zaire and quarterback Clayton Schrader. First off, how exciting is it to get this Class 1A state championship?
This is the greatest time of my life. I said in the last 3 playoff games, we just kept getting closer, and this is the greatest time of my life. I can't imagine anything better than this.
And I mean, to come out here and do it on this big stage, I mean, this is what you dream of, right?
Yeah. We've been dreaming about this since we were 8 years old. I mean, and to come together all 4 years of high school and to finally get it, it's a great feeling.
All right. Hey, Coach Zaire, can we get you in here for a second? Just how exciting is it for you as a head coach, not only see this guy win a championship, but bring a championship back to Arcola?
It's huge. You know, you look, we probably have more people up in the stands right now than are in the town, that live in the town of Arcola. It means so much to the people, the alumni, everybody, just to bring it back and have the excitement here in town. It's just a very, very good feeling for everybody.
Coach, it's Black Friday. Everyone's wondering, where can they pick up this shirt at? Can you give us the history on it?
This shirt, a Hall of Fame coach, assistant coach, Byron Bradford, he couldn't be here today, but he said he's worn this in 2 different state championship playoff games, 2 state championship games. And so we brought it with us, and we figured we'd put it on here at the end so we have for pictures.
I'll tell you what, it's a good fit, and it's a winner today, especially for you guys winning a Class 1A state championship. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I just want to go see my wife and kid now.
All right, you go do that. All right, that is the head coach of the Arcola Purple Riders, who are now your Class 1A state champions. We'll send it back up to the booth.
Okay, thanks, Donnie Boy. And it's so fun being from Central Illinois, seeing a kid from Deer Creek Mackinac High School, and there's a little bit of that here today. There's a little bit of Dunlap Eagles where he coached, and Fieldcrest, and to be the state championship head coach for Arcola. Let's go to Jeff Fritzen, our PA announcer for the award ceremony for the state champion Arcola Purple Riders, and Stark County as well.
And now the second place trophy presented by Mr. Nagel to the Rebels of Stark County, who finished the season with a final record of 13 wins and 1 loss. Next will Superintendent Tom Mulligan, Principal Lisa Sigrist, Athletic Director and Coach Zach Zier, and the captains of state champion Arcola. Please join the presenters on the platform. Special medallion will be presented to the administrators, and individual awards will be presented to Coach Zier and his team captains by Mr. Adrian, Mr. Bradley, and Mr. Jones.
Congratulations, boys. Great season. Very good. Good job.
And now this year's state championship Class 1A team trophy will be presented by Mr. Jones to the Purple Riders of Arcola, who finished the season with a final record of 14 wins and no losses.
There they are, your first state champions of the weekend, the Arcola Purple Riders, 14-0, and they vanquished Stark County here in the state championship game, 38-17. And they're, you know, anytime teams come in and they didn't seem to be tested in the regular season, you wonder how will they do here today. And this Arcola team showed us just what they were capable of doing, only allowing 18 points total in the regular season. Their defense played outstanding. Their offense putting up 35 points today. One of those being an interception for a touchdown. But still an outstanding performance all around. Special teams as well for Arcola.
Well, they had all the weapons. There's no doubt about it. And that's the kind of teams we're going to see all weekend long here. The teams that have the special weapons. And one of those very key and crucial weapons is a quarterback that has the versatility that we've seen here with Clayton Strader all through this ball game and all through the season for them. They had 7 shutouts defensively. So to go along with that outstanding offensive weaponry they have an outstanding defense, and that's what led them here, and it showed again today.
Clayton Strader, 37 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, 101 yards rushing for Wyatt Fischel, 94 yards rushing for Clayton Strader, 2 touchdowns rushing, 2 touchdowns passing for the Purple Riders quarterback. Stark County came in 13-0. They were facing their 3rd straight undefeated team, but they couldn't pull off the 3rd straight win against an undefeated team as Arcola puts up the 35-17 win, their 14th win of the season to finish a perfect year and take home the 4th straight trophy, state championship trophy in Arcola school history.